kilometer to the finish line, and the last 500 meters seems to be uphill as well. It's also something to look forward to, because I think it's kind of the same route we're going to drive on what's it called, the road race. So I have 1.4 up to Rasmussen ahead of me, and about 1.7 to Kraunersen behind me. I think that's pretty good, because I have a pretty good all-round stats here, 80 flat, 73 hills, so this is my kind of... I'm practically the ideal Danish rider for the Danish terrain, because there's no mountain in Denmark at all, so I fit pretty much perfectly to what you need to do here. But I actually think I have to go down. It is a bit annoying. I should have probably started a bit higher in energy level, but you can't do much about that. Now we're coming up to the hills here, a bit steep climbs here, up and down it goes. Like 7% climb and 14% descent here. Good thing we aren't going the other way, up and down. Okay, back up to 65 again here for the final kilometer, Rasmussen Hasken. So we have about 1.5 down to Kraunersen, and Alex Rasmussen ahead of us have already finished his race. And I think we got an 8th place just after Rasmussen. That means we're probably not going to get a top 10 finish here. It's probably going to be more around 16th, 17th place, which is a bit sad, but let's see who wins overall. And the winner seems to be Kvae ahead of Fuglsang by only 7 seconds. A pretty close one. I think we finished around 16th, 17th. Let's just get to the result screen so we can check out. We finished 17th, which is honestly a bit worse than expected. Of course, we are in the greatest shape at the moment, since we're not racing Tour de France and have no race to really prepare for at the moment. So it is pretty expected that I'm that far down. I was hoping to do better, of course. Let's get into the road race. Okay, here's the road race. It is a hill race once again. It's around the same steep climb, so it goes up a hill like 20 times the entire day. I know that a breakaway will be led away, and the breakaway will end up winning by 10-20 minutes or so. And I honestly don't think I'll be allowed to win a breakaway, which means that I have pretty much no chance of winning this race, which is really, really annoying. Yeah, let's just get into the race and hope for the best, because I don't think I have much of a chance here. Okay, so believe it or not, I actually managed to get in the breakaway a solo as well. So right now I have a 10-minute lead, of course. That's because it's the start of the race, so I'm really excited to see if I'm actually just going to be led away for the entire race, because I am a pretty strong rider. I'm the 5th favorite for the race, so they'll have a bit of trouble catching up on me here at the end, because of course they've given me such a big gap at the moment already. You can already see, I think the peloton is splitting apart behind us already, since the pace is so high, because the pace I'm setting is pretty high for a lot of riders in the... There's of course a lot of weak riders in this peloton here, who are not able to follow riders like Fuglsang or Valgren in the hills here. So let's see what happens. Okay, at the 100 kilometer mark, I've already lapped like 15-20 riders out of the 55-man peloton. These riders around here, these 11 riders here, I have lapped. I have about 11 minutes or so now down to the peloton, and I think I'm getting pretty close to them as well at the moment. They have slowed down a bit. They were down to 8 minutes after me at one point, but I think they've given up a bit again. I don't think it's like 10 or 13 riders. These 9 riders here we've overtaken, but these 14-15 minutes riders here. Okay, we have actually lapped them right here as I was looking at the screen. So here we are, going past all of the favorites here. I think that's pretty much all of them here. Yeah, that is all of the favorites. So they are lapped now, which is probably guaranteed us to win here. We have Kvae out solo, about 2.5 minutes ahead of the rest of the peloton right here. You can actually see him right up ahead of us now. So I think I've pretty much guaranteed myself this victory here, since it doesn't seem like they're really fighting that much more for catching me. I think they've pretty much given up, since they have to pretty much catch me and then lap me to even get close to me. So this is what I was hoping for, getting in the breakaway. I was allowed in the breakaway. It was a big mistake by them. I attacked at the start line immediately after the flag was waved, and yeah, it's given me the victory. Let's get to the end and see how many minutes I'm going to win by. Okay, last 12 kilometers, and we right now have a 40-minute lead to Kvae and 50 minutes or so down to the peloton. It'll probably accelerate a bit now because they want to fight for 3rd place. But at the moment here, I have a 3-lap lead over the peloton. It wouldn't surprise me if some of the riders, I mean, there's still a lot of riders left in the peloton here. But it could be funny to see some of the riders maybe fall for the time limit, but I don't think they will because it isn't that tough a race. We're now around the last lap here, we're going up the steep climb one more time here, just after this little downhill here. And here it is, the steepest part of the race. Let's just go up to like 85, take the gel here, have a little sprint for amongst ourselves, as we will win the Danish National Championship here, and ride in red and white for the next year, at least unless we're of course wearing some leader's jersey. But yeah, 43 minutes you can see. Kvad is 26 kilometers behind, and I will imagine the peloton is around 30-35 kilometers behind, as you can see where I am, and where the furthest behind is actually not a group that's fallen behind, it is the peloton that's so far behind. So pretty fun race. Always love these national championships because you can have such weird things happen that wouldn't happen in real life. Let's jump to the end of the race and see what happens. So I ended up winning by 46 minutes to Gullhammer, 47 to Hansen. I think this is the biggest victory I've ever had in any Pro Cycling Manager, so this is actually a pretty special moment for me. For more interesting news, I think 16 riders finished. So not the best day for a lot of these riders here. We probably expected to do a lot better, at least finish the race. Guys like Prechel couldn't even manage to finish in the time gap in his own national championships. It's pretty disappointing for him, I would imagine. But now, of course, the video isn't over yet. We still need to find a new team for next season. As we enter July, we'll have the ability to sign a new team. I want to sign for one of the most stacked team, so I won't be the captain. Unless, of course, I get a jersey. So I want to be assigned for a stacked team so I can be allowed to go in the breakaway, since I won't be the captain. So let's see if we can find a team like TINKOFF, Ethics Quickstep, Sky or something like that. I don't want to sign for one of the smaller French teams and be the captain this time, like I did in the previous series. So let's get into the race and see what happens. Okay, so I have gotten an offer from these teams, and I have both Ethics Quickstep and Team Sky. Team Sky is more of the stage race team than Ethics Quickstep. They have Michael Landa, of course, Froome, Thibaut Pinot. And for the couples, they don't really have that many. Jan Thomas and Stan Legros are 3 great riders, but they're not exactly... The stats isn't like... They're not going to win the races. They're going to get top 10 places and maybe 3 of them as well. But they're going to win a lot of races. Hills, they're not going to win. They don't have Kwiatkowski, so they're not going to win Lisbon Yates either. Ethics Quickstep, on the other hand, is probably more of a not... You can see Mountain Rise, they don't really have anybody. They're not going to get a top 10 finish at all in any Grand Tours. Hills, they have probably the 2 best riders at all, Kwiatkowski and Alaphilippe. Couples, they used to have Bonen, of course, Terpstra, now they only have Stibar left. But still a pretty strong team. They also have Debichere and Jens Kukelaer, Lampert, and of course Kwiatkowski is pretty decent here as well. So question is, should I go for a team here where I will be on a great squad for classics where I would have a lot of teammates left? Or should I go to a team would be great in the mountains, where I can then easier get into a breakaway? I still think I'm going to sign with Ethics Quickstep, since I feel like that would be better for me. It will allow me more to get in breakaways in classics, which is what I'm really going for in this series record. It is called Road to Monument. So I want to try and sign with Ethics Quickstep. Let's see, make an offer. 20,500 a month. I don't really care too much about salary, it doesn't matter at all. We already have Kittel, Alaphilippe and Kwiatkowski signed for next season, which makes me happy, as those are 3 of the best riders, and we will probably sign a lot more riders throughout the year as well. So let's see, and let's simulate forward a few days to see if we can sign with Ethics Quickstep. Okay, Ethics Quickstep accepted our offer, which means we will now ride for Ethics Quickstep next year, and they're a great team in the classics. I'm really looking forward to this. We could also sign for a lot of other teams, like I think Ernest is Frances Deschaux, for example. Betclic, I believe, is that Cofidis? I think it's Cofidis, yeah. Betclic is Cofidis. Kai Royal, of course, we're going to re-sign. We've signed with I Am Cycling, who I think is going to get promoted this year. Continental team, Team Co-op, which I think is a not Dutch team, Norwegian team, of course. Trek, Lotto could be a pretty funny team as well for the classics, since it is probably also their primary focus. But we have signed with Ethics Quickstep, and that is the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time for more Pro Cycling Manager or Tour de France 2015. Goodbye.